Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
Jeff Dunham. You're the other white meat.
How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it.
I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
With living in luxury at Southland Casino Hotel, the good life is closer than you think. Members get one entry with every 100 points earned playing on their Lucky North Rewards card, plus one free entry daily. Win free play at our hourly drawings, and don't miss our Saturday grand prize drawings in March. You could win a home theater package, premium massage chair, an outdoor jacuzzi, and $250,000 cash. Luxurious prizes await at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or older. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
So what happened with football, right? As you were this massive recruit in football, but then you decided to go play basketball at a smaller school.
That I hated football practices. I used to just sit over there on the side, drink water. They used to say that water be ready on Friday. A lot of mental reps.
So you didn't even like playing?
I didn't like practicing. I loved playing.
You liked the games, but you did not like football practice.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
New Amsterdam Vodka is an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the only exceptionally smooth vodka that is 5 times distilled, 3 times filtered, and rated 93 points. New Amsterdam believes wins big and small become legendary when you celebrate them with your crew. So here's to the blue, white, and gold, the Memphis grit and grind, and reliving winning moments big and small with Tennessee's favorite basketball team. New Amsterdam Vodka. Find your wins.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? It is Friday, March 27th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass coming up on today's show. Iowa, Illinois, Purdue, Arizona, all into the Elite Eight. Who will join them? We will find out tonight. We will talk NCAA tournament. Whitaker will join us to talk Grizzlies, NBA. They've got their anti-tanking concepts out. We will evaluate those. Baseball's back and more. The Memphis women's basketball team has their new head coach. Prep Curry's going to join us in studio, celebrating his 191 collab. That is happening tonight. We'll do a little Music Friday, new music, what's happening around. It is a good day to be a Friday. But we, of course, start with last night's Sweet 16 action. And I want to start with Iowa, Nebraska. Because, CJ, there has got to be nothing better than beating your rival for your first trip to the Elite Eight since 1987. And there really has to be nothing better than making them look a little silly while you do it. Because not only does Iowa get to say, hey, we beat Nebraska to go to the Elite Eight, They now get to make jokes for the rest of their lives that Nebraska doesn't know how to count. Nebraska doesn't know how to count, and that is brutal because Nebraska down 3 to Iowa with less than a minute to play, Elite Eight on the line, coming out of a timeout. The Cornhuskers only had 1, 2, 3, 4. I can count. 4 players on the court. That was such a wild thing to watch happen in real time, and Fulgaris is wide open on the break, full court pass to him. He has the layup, guy chasing him to catch up, fouls him, goes to the free throw line, makes it. You go from a 3-point game to a 6-point game, and that thing was over. And it had been such a tremendous back and forth, just big shot after big shot, and Nebraska had led for like 75% of the game. But who knows how that would have gone if Nebraska hadn't had 4 players on the court. It took the announcing crew a hot second to realize what had happened because we just don't see that. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, this is the one of the wilder ways, one of the weirder, stranger ways to lose a game of importance. How do you break the huddle with only 4 dudes on the court? Somebody is in charge of that. I played high school basketball. I know you guys know this at the varsity level. Never made it to collegiate ball, but
I think you could have.
I could have. I could.
You're welcome.
NAIA, D3, D2. Tuskegee was D2, but I had let myself go that summer. I didn't stay in shape. If I had to continue to work on my game, I could have gone to a smaller D2 school and maybe played. But that's not the point. Not on this level is the point. And even we broke the huddle. One of the assistant coaches was in charge of like keeping an eye on who's on the court. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all right. And then they would go sit down. How does that happen? Players would sometimes, if the count was off, be like, hey, wait, somebody's in. Who's in? Who's in? Somebody's in. Any player, not just the dudes on the court, the players on the bench will be like, yo, why are you sitting over here with me? Aren't you supposed to be in? Hey, coach, is he supposed to be in the game? At a certain point, somebody should catch that. We talk about when there's a big failure, a failure like this, a failure of monumental proportions. It's not one person's fault. It is everybody's fault. How does the head coach not see it? How does the assistant coach not see it? How does the players on the court not see it?
How does a fan not yell loud enough to not see it?
A fan, somebody, the players on the bench. How does the training staff? It's all
the
those
mascot.
people. It's all the cheerleaders.
The cheer team.
It's all those people walking around. Like as a player walking on the court, you walk up to your guy and you're looking around like, my guy's here. He's there. Hey, who's on him? Hey, coach, who's on him? Who's got this guy? Right, and then somebody runs in off the bench. It's not uncommon to break a huddle and not know who's on or off of the court. But somebody's got to realize that, and it can't happen.
And it can't be the Iowa player who realizes it, because I think Sturtz calls it out. Like, Sturtz realizes it, and the second that Fulgaris goes full court, like, Iowa knew, and they capitalized on it immediately.
Because again, everybody stands on the court and is like, okay, who's guarding me? Wait, nobody's
no
guarding
one.
him. Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Is no
don't say
one.
anything. Ooh, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't. There he is. It's a lot like we did this a couple of times and had it done to us, where on the free throw, one of your guys just slowly starts creeping back, and everybody sort of makes eyes with one another, like, hey, they're not even paying attention to what he's got going on. As soon as you get it, just throw it deep. Like that's because somebody's got to catch that for Nebraska.
The Chris Webber timeout is the all-timer. I'm sorry. The Chris Webber timeout is the all-timer because it's a championship game. But I do think this is on that level.
It is.
And it escalates because it's a rivalry. Like, my friend, I said I was going to share this on the show last night because my dear friends Jalen and Keith, who are the Iowa fans in our life, she said, you guys just don't know how much it means to me to have my team not only go to the Elite Eight, but to have done it by beating my arch nemesis. And that's the feeling of Iowa. And now you set up Iowa, Illinois, and that can reach further Big Ten West toxicity levels that we have not seen. The toxicity of the Midwest, the toxicity of the corn. But it is just, it's an incredible thing for Iowa to advance to the Elite Eight, and it is even better for them because they get to make fun of their rival along the way for being dumb. You get to say, at least we know how to count. Nebraska doesn't even know how to count. They're going to be using that for years, decades, centuries. It will be remembered. Huge for Iowa. Were you going to say something?
Everybody's going to use it for years.
My old school director that I told you with the Nebraska jokes and shows, now I'd be like, not only does Nebraska suck, Nebraska's stupid. And Nebraska was a great story in college basketball. It stinks. And Hoiberg took the responsibility for it, as a head coach has to do, blamed it on miscommunication. I hate that it wipes off what was a very fun year of Nebraska ball and getting 2 wins in the NCAA tournament after having had 0. But welcome to the tournament, baby.
Hey,
Your incompetence can be exploited at any moment.
They can't act like they've been here before because they've never done it.
That's fair.
That's,
you can say, listen, we didn't know. We haven't been here before.
We've never been in a Sweet 16 game. It's our fault.
My
Michigan,
bad.
As a person who's followed this conference closely since like 97, Michigan's going to use this. Michigan's going to use this at like golf games, right?
As a person who's followed this conference since, my team's been in it since the very beginning, 2022, USC, I do wonder, can the Big Ten now adopt the phrase Conference of Champions once they eventually win a Final Four, a national championship in basketball?
They've got 2 teams in already.
They have 2 teams in, 5 are left.
So wait,
so three are playing today.
Is the Big Ten going to automatically get one in to the Final Four?
Yeah.
So the Big Ten
automatically
got
gets
one in the Final Four already.
They've had the football success, and the Pac-12's slogan was Conference of Champions. R.I.P. Bill Walton forever. Can the Big Ten adopt? Just like we've been talking about the Sonics history with the Thunder and giving the Sonics back their history and what counts. Can the Big Ten ethically adopt Conference of Champions after decimating?
It's not about ethics. They can do whatever they want to.
Right.
The SEC is
Welcome
running
to the Conference
around,
of Champions,
the
baby.
SEC is running around chanting about it just means more while they continue to lose at football. Right? Like you can do whatever you want to in this dumbass thing.
Keith in the chat said the N on their helmet stands for knowledge. Not only can't they count, they can't spell. Oh, it's so brutal. They're going to use it forever. Anyway, I loved seeing it for Iowa. That Ben McCollum has so quickly ascended into the conversation of, is this one of the biggest difference makers in the sport from a coaching standpoint? There was a timeout where he was lighting into his guys, and I swear he was foaming at the mouth. He had like literal spitballs coming out of his mouth, and the craziness in his eyes and the facial expressions were hysterical. They were asked about it after the game, and I think it was Sturts who said that he slammed his whiteboard and broke his marker, and the ink just went everywhere. And he was telling his team that they sucked and they were soft, but in a loving and caring way that led them to being able to perform down the stretch. Like, his players clearly love him, and that relationship with Sturts, that's so special. Like, if they were to go all the way, even what they've accomplished thus far, making it to an Elite Eight, to have somebody that he was with at Northwest Missouri State, a place where he won 4 championships as the head coach, but none with Sturts, and now to have that relationship carry over from Drake to Iowa is really cool.
Yeah, we love these stories.
Yeah.
We love the story of the D3 kid. Isn't Cedric Howard something like that?
Yeah.
Where it is, he wasn't this in college because he ended up injured that first year and then left immediately after the first year at Washington State. But we love Duncan Robinson comes to mind. D3 kid, works his way up the divisions and ends up a key piece and a major contributor for a team that is fighting for a national championship, a team that is in the Sweet 16, Elite Eight, what have you. Yeah, we love those stories. Dan Hurley was asked, because you brought this up a couple of times. I was like, and it reminded me of the Dan Hurley thing, which I wasn't going to bring up, but he was asked about coaching players hard and why as a society have we moved on from coaching players hard, or why is there such a negative reaction to players being coached hard? You had that moment last night. We had the moment in Maryland's women's basketball. We had Dan Hurley. You can find all the Dan Hurley moments if you want to go back and look. And the first minute of it is, okay, man, all right, get out of here. But the last 30 seconds or so is, listen, I love them. And they know I love them. They know. Most of the time we spend together is joking, is jovial, is us laughing together. It's us fellowshipping together. I'm in charge of young men. And sometimes you have to go in there and it's got to be hard. Life is hard. And I got to get them ready for life, and I got to get them ready for the moments when things get hard. And in that moment, our players knew this is a man who grown. This is a grown-ass man who I know cares about me and knows what I'm capable of. A lot of noise is happening around me right now. It's real loud in here. That team over there is my rival. My heart is beating real fast. I can't catch my breath. I'm trying to get to the Elite Eight. I'm trying to be remembered as a legend at this university. That's what I'm trying to do. That is what I'm thinking about. That coach has to shout through that noise. You don't have a lot of time. You can't sit them down, put them on the therapy couch, go back through their life history, embrace them, love on them, hug them.
You've done
you
that
can't
part
do that.
off the
You've
court.
done it already.
Right.
You've done it already. So in that moment, what we get to see is the hard coaching. But a good coach has done, to your point, that moment already. That a good coach has had those conversations with those players already. And I love seeing it when it's done right. I love seeing hard coaching because it means that, and I love seeing it, and I love when players respond to it because it means there's something special between player and coach.
And it means that coach knows that they can do that level of coaching to that player in that moment.
Yeah.
For them to be able to rise to the occasion. And sometimes it doesn't work. That's sports. Like you win, you lose. Sometimes you have 4 players on the court and it's tough. Like Hoiberg has similar relationships with his players. Kelvin Sampson last night I thought had a great quote. Oh, break my heart. Where he said, I don't have to be their life, but they are my life. And I was like, I just wanted this for Kelvin Sampson so bad. I went to sleep at halftime when it was 24-22, a good old-fashioned football score.
Can you talk to me about the juxtaposition of either flipping back and forth or just looking at the score? 24-26 on one screen, and it's 40-50 or whatever it is on the other screen as Arizona and Arkansas are playing.
Yeah, 2 different sports.
I was like, oh
we talk about this, but you know, when you get a Big Ten West team involved, what do you expect? The funny thing is Illinois, a much better offensive team. Houston, the defensive team, one of the best defensive teams in college basketball. And Illinois played their game and got dirty and in the mud of that thing, and they did it well. That stretch, catching up this morning to see Houston score 4 points in about 9 minutes in the second half, and Illinois using a 17-0 run to really put them away was incredible. I mean, I thought Houston settled for a lot of threes. They took a lot of threes. They only made 9 of them. Nobody on their team shot above 50%. It was a bad night. Bad nights happen, and unfortunately for Houston, for a very, very good Houston team that certainly had a chance to win it all this year, coming off a year where they certainly were right in it, up double digits in a national championship game, chance to win it last year. They just had a bad game. They had a bad night.
I thought a moment like that moment was going to happen for Houston. It was going to be an ugly game. But I thought with Uzane and with Sharp, they would be enough to get them through whatever this moment is. And I feel like as great as Fleming's was, or as great as we think Fleming's will be at the next level, I felt like they relied on him a bit too much to try and get them into stuff. I would have completely taken the ball out of the freshman's hands and said, hey, if we're going out, you two, we're going out with y'all. Y'all have got to be the ones. The shots are coming from you. The plays that need to be made are coming from you. It felt like a 20-point game after halftime. And, well, not immediately after halftime, but that 17-0 run, it pushes it to 20. And then Houston does cut it back to single digits, but an 8-0 run pushes it right back up to double digits. But even when it was cut to single digits, it still felt like a 20-point game because it didn't feel like Houston was ever going to be able to score enough. Defensively, though, like Illinois is averaging 85 points per game.
Yeah.
Houston held them to about 20 points fewer than their season average.
And like all the I mean, Keaton Wagler was held, I think, 4 or 5 points below his season average. Just everything.
And in those types of games, every possession matters. You're not going to get a whole lot of them, so you got to make the most of them when you can. Wagler had a couple of big buckets. Stojakovic in the first half.
I liked Wagler as a rebounder last night, I will say.
Well, they said that Wagler, when asked about it, said, coaches told us this is going to be a guard rebounding game. We were going to have to get in there. And I think Illinois is the first team ever with 2 freshmen with double-doubles in a Sweet 16 game.
Interesting.
And both guards. They had 2 guards, Wagler, and I'm forgetting about the other one, both go out there and get double-digit rebounds because it was a man's game underneath there. There was a moment Tugler had, and I hate it for him, but he had a 3 or 4 possession stretch.
It
was just okay, thank you. Yeah. It was just odd mistakes after odd mistake. It was so bad Kelvin Sampson had to take him out for a moment. It's like, hey, get your head back right. But outside of that, Houston has the advantage on the glass from a front court standpoint. I love the way, to your point, how Illinois' guards were willing to get down there and get physical because they are hitting. Bodies are flying. I look at one shot, Illinois shot, I can't remember who's shooting it, and it is damn near like offensive linemen trying to block. and it's just dudes being pushed underneath the basket through the baseline. 2 or 3 guys go flying on the shot release, and it's like, oh yeah, this is the basketball the way the good Lord intended it. I love the physicality. But yeah, shout out to Illinois.
Yeah, poor Houston. I saw somebody say, is Houston the Buffalo Bills of college basketball right now? Like,
no,
so good and just
no,
yeah. Because they made the national championship game, too.
They made it once. How many times did the Buffalo Bills make the Super Bowl?
I mean, right now, 4? No, 3.
I think you're
4.
I think you were right the first
Yeah,
time.
4.
I think they
4.
went to 4 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So if Houston had gotten to 4 straight national championships and lost, then they'll be like, oh yeah, no, that's Buffalo Bills-esque.
Like you said, Arizona with a big win over
big win?
Arkansas. I thought Arizona looked really good from what I saw. I watched the first half, and it felt like Arkansas was going to have to turn on some magic. Darius Acuff was going to have to do something magical, and he had another big performance. I mean, his tournament numbers ended up just being unreal, but he has 28 last night on 8 of 19 shooting. He was 11 of 14 from the free throw line. Arkansas falls short 109-88.
They did a great job on Acuff.
Yeah, and he still was able to get his points
but
up.
It's not efficient. 1 for 7 from the 3-point line, shooting, what was it, 8 for 19? So well under 50%, well under 45% from the field as well. What is that, 8 for 19? I'm going to say like that's 42, 43% from the field maybe. 8 goes into...
You pull out the calculator.
19. 8 goes into 19, 2...
You're right, 42.
Yeah, 42%. Yeah.
Men in STEM, just as important as women in
Well,
STEM.
hey, not this month. It's all about the women. So
3 more days.
And then we get to forget about them
Yeah,
until
God.
June, and then we got to care about the ones that are a part of that community. But yeah, so they did a good job. I think that was his 9th time this season being held under 43% from the field.
Yeah.
And so he was held at like 42%, like we said. And that's hard to do for a player like that. And they just threw Bradley Big 12 Player of the Year. I'm still not really sure how or why, but Bradley's a dude in that conference who they're like, yeah, this is Big 12 Player of the Year right here. And I think you saw some of what he does defensively because he was really, really active on him. And being able to go from Bradley to Burries for a spell.
I really liked Burries.
Yeah.
From what I saw. Again, went to sleep at the half of both of those games and catching up this morning.
We've been watching Burries for a while.
Yeah.
We've been talking about him for a while.
He's been on a steady uphill trend. You talk about the juxtaposition of the score of Houston, Illinois with Arizona, Arkansas. Having to catch up with or keep up with both of the games from the early window felt so unfair. And especially, I think the Nebraska-Iowa game tipped off almost a full half hour after the Purdue-Texas game. And that Purdue-Texas game went like sludge in the second half because Nebraska-Iowa ends up finishing well before. You're going back and forth. Both games are tied or 1-point, 2-point games, so you're just trying to keep track of everything on. Just absolute bangers of early Sweet 16 games last night. Purdue ends up beating Texas with a tip-in that left 0.7 seconds on the clock. Was there a hook and hold? Maybe. If you're a Texas fan, you can be mad about it because that's what we do this time of year. But Trey Kaufman-Wren put that thing in so cleanly, I thought he missed it. I thought he airballed it. The net does not move. No. It is up, down, through, and that net does not move at all. I literally thought that he airballed it. He makes it. It's the game winner. I was asking why on earth Texas took their big man out, Matas. He had 4 fouls, but you're like, if you foul out, you foul out at that point. Sean Miller had a very thorough breakdown of his reasoning, and it was very purposeful, and I appreciated how deep that he went with it. One being that Clough had fouled out, so he's off the court for Purdue, which was big, and so you already have not the need to go up against him. And then Miller just said he didn't want him to get switched onto an island and get stuck with Braden Smith, and choosing to go with smaller but quicker players, in that case Purdue being such a perimeter-focused team who makes big shots, a lot of shots. So that was the strategy. They end up giving up an offensive rebound that ends up being the game winner. But I understood it more listening to Sean Miller's rationale.
Yeah, you're just trying your best. You know what's coming.
Yeah.
We timeout. All right. Braden Smith, pick and roll, getting downhill, or Braden Smith, pick and roll, pulling the switch guy out. A couple of quick dribbles, goes by him and gets downhill. That's what happened the possession before. Braden Smith got the switch, broke the dude down off the dribble, right hand, layup, finished it. And you saw that. You just saw that.
Yeah.
You just, like, it wasn't earlier in the game. No, it was like the possession
right before.
So you make the adjustment as a coach, and then you hope your players you hope it's the right adjustment and you catch a little luck there.
Yeah.
And they caught a big lucky break. Because it was the contest was there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a great contest. It wasn't a shot that I hadn't seen unfortunately, seen Braden Smith make thousands of times throughout the course of his career. Like we've seen him do that. It comes off the rim, and unfortunately you just get pushed underneath it and the tip-in happens. The right decision was made. You didn't want to see that again.
Yeah. I was losing my mind watching that game with Tremont Mark fighting for his life on the rolled ankle. Like, there were times where he could barely run. And then you find out Jordan Pope is also playing on a broken foot that he sustained in the end of the Gonzaga game. Talk about just the competitive will taking over to stay in that game. And Mark ended up with 29 points on that bad ankle, and Pope was really effective as well. Anyway, Texas's time. Our Cinderella of an 11 seeds time comes to an end in the Sweet 16.
Thank God we have the Cinderella hour.
Thank God.
I would honestly,
I can bend my brain to make Iowa.
To make Iowa one?
Because you have the McCollum story. You have that he came from D3. It's Iowa, who hasn't been to an Elite Eight since 1987. I don't think they've been to a Final Four since 1980. So it's been a long time. I can make the mental gymnastics work for Cinderella, Iowa. Who doesn't love a corn Cinderella? Texas. I don't think I could do it. I couldn't do it. Okay. They're an 11 seed, but they're Texas. It's just, it just means more. All right, Lang Whitaker, speaking of our SEC correspondent, will join us in the next segment.
I can't see. Is he over there?
I haven't seen him yet, but I bet he is. We'll talk to him about the Grizzlies' upcoming weekend. They got the Rockets tonight, the Bulls tomorrow, and a back-to-back here at FedEx Forum. We also heard from the NBA this morning. Shams Charania reporting their potential plans to curb tanking and what those anti-tanking concepts could look like. We'll run through those with Lang, along with other things from the Sports Week when we come back.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
The Grizzlies have been consistent as one of the top 2 or 3 most productive benches all season long.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Fridays at FedEx Forum just got a whole lot more fun for the family. With the Family Friday ticket offer, a $35 game ticket gets you a $10 food voucher and access to pregame shoot-around. Additionally, for every 4 tickets purchased, you get an autographed item from the Grizzlies Vault. Capture moments that last a lifetime for birthdays, youth groups, and other family-friendly celebrations. Visit grizzlies.com/Friday to grab your tickets today. Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are expected to cede all Supersonics history back to Seattle when that city gets a new NBA franchise. And Oklahoma City has said, when you guys get your little basketball thing, we'll give you all your little history back. So you can have all your little Gary Payton and all your little Sean Kemp stuff, and we'll just focus on our Shea Gilgeous-Alexander MVPs. That seems fair, doesn't it?
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Welcome back. It is Friday. Lang Whitaker
Yo.
joins us in studio as
Opening
it is every
day.
Friday.
You ready?
Your opening day.
Yeah, for the teams that matter. It's
Okay.
opening day.
Happy Braves opening day.
It is, yeah.
Did
finally.
I see Paul Skeens gave up like
Yes.
5 runs
His
in
ERA
2/3?
is 67.
That's insane. What
Although,
a
like,
start.
I would argue, like, he loaded the bases in the first inning, got a pop out to center field. The center fielder missed the ball. It rolled to the wall. All the runs scored.
Okay.
The guy who hit it ended up on second base. The next ball, they hit it to the center fielder again. He missed it again. That guy scored, and they took Skeens out of the game. So, like, I don't really blame him as much.
Yeah.
I did read that his girlfriend, Olivia Dunn, was at the game.
Okay.
Somebody in the stands.
It's Livy for those of us who follow her closely.
Somebody posted that they were sitting like in front of her, and they said there was a stream of fans there to get her autograph.
Oh, yeah.
And she signed every autograph, took every selfie. And she stayed the whole 9 innings, even though her boyfriend
Was
got knocked
out.
out in the first inning.
Huh.
She sat there and did it.
Every single thing I saw from opening day. We've had 3 opening days now.
The real ones today. We had some warm up
We
ones.
had
and then
a
the
one
real
and
ones.
gun with the Yankees and the Giants. We had the full slate yesterday, and now
Yeah.
a fuller slate today. Everything I saw from yesterday came from the Mets Pirates game.
Yeah.
Everything, because
Like
it was some Hamilton
he messed up the
singer
national
messed up the
anthem,
national anthem
which
lyrics.
I loved it.
2 birds collided in the outfield
Yeah.
and knocked each other out and had to be. What do you do? Like scooped up and taken off the field? They had to be
Shoveled
scooped
out.
and saved and shoveled. And then the Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn stuff. I was like, if I didn't know any better, I would think the only game that existed yesterday happened.
This is
in New
a
York.
big difference for MLB. That game was on NBC at noon.
Yeah.
On a Friday. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty random. And I mean, from the Giants game Wednesday night being on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, baseball is kind of in a different place than it was a few years ago. And I don't know if it's tonight. There's a game on Apple TV. So, like, it's pretty different.
It's so hard because I would assume, without knowing the demographics off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
baseball is one of the sports that has held on to an older audience more
Yeah.
than other sports. I mean,
Yeah.
the NBA, like my parents who follow it religiously because of my job,
Right.
keep their friends updated on things in the NBA
Yeah.
because they don't watch the NBA.
Sure.
They still watch football. NFL carries everything, but Major League Baseball, for all of its slippages in being America's pastime, the older generation still watches, and
Yeah.
I think there's a growing frustration from them because they are less.
harder to find.
Yeah, and they're just less attuned to like knowing how to skip around for all of these streaming services to find things. I think it makes it a little difficult.
We were talking about this at dinner the other night here at the Grizzlies game because the NBA is sort of in the similar
Right.
space where game to game, night to night, some games are on Peacock, some are on ESPN, some are not.
Amazon.
Like TNT's does not have the games anymore, and it's sort of confusing. The Braves just yesterday announced what channel their games are going to be on because they started their own streaming service, Braves Vision.
Oh, interesting.
But they had to cut deals with all the different cable companies. And the first game's tonight, and it was less than 24 hours ago, they announced
That they
it's
got
going to
it
be
on.
on Xfinity, Comcast. But I also read somewhere on the Twitter yesterday that the reason they wait so long to announce it is Major League Baseball makes them wait to try to sell more streaming things. So they think people are going to get worried and not do it. So it's all really different. And here's the things, like I think for people like probably my age and up who are kind of befuddled by this whole thing, I don't think anyone cares.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I mean, but I also think for like my son and his friends, finding games the way that however you find them is kind of just second nature to them. Like they, it's not a big deal to have to, where's this game? How do I find it? What do I do?
Yeah.
I think for younger people, like that's kind of baked in. For me, like it's like, oh.
I was talking to my mom about it yesterday, and she was like, sometimes it's frustrating. And I said, yeah, and this is going to, piss you off even more. they don't care.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care that somebody over the age of, I don't know, 55 and up, it really doesn't matter.
I emailed my dad this morning.
Which is, of course, matters.
Yeah, I had to email my dad this morning
standpoint.
and tell him what channel the Braves are going to be on.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he'd be able to figure it out. Because he's not on social media. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it is interesting. We will see the Grizzlies on FanDuel Sports.
That's right.
For tonight, for tomorrow, and we will be here in the building at FedEx
Yeah.
Forum. A back-to-back. The Rockets and Kevin Durant in town tonight. The Bulls in town tomorrow. Give me one thing to look forward to in this back-to-back coming up for the Grizzlies.
I mean, the Bulls just shut down Jaden Ivey this morning and someone else for the rest of the season. It's a headline on ESPN. I just saw it on the right side. So maybe we got a shot against this Bulls team. You know, they traded Vucevic. Like, they don't have they're clearly trying to.
Oh, Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith,
There you
yeah.
go.
So the Bulls, maybe we got a shot in that one. The Rockets, I watched that game the other night, the Minnesota game. They went on a 13-0 run in overtime. I turned the game off, took the dog out, turned the lights off, locked up the house, went and got in bed, checked Twitter, and they had just given up a 15-0 run back against them and lost the game. So they're a team that's sort of interesting too. Like they should be pretty good, but they've lost 4 of their last 10.
6.
No, they've won 6. They've lost 6 of their last 10. Won 4 of the last 10. Last 10.
They've lost
They're
4
4
of the
and
last
6 in their
6.
last 10.
Yeah.
So they're kind of struggling for a team that we all kind of thought at the start of the year might be a contender. And I don't know if it's just as simple as Fred VanVleet got hurt and they don't have a point guard.
Yeah.
Reed
And Reed Shepherd
Shepherd's
hasn't been
trying to do
enough.
it. But yeah, so
I do think Kevin Durant still has the juice where people are excited to come on a Friday night at FedEx Forum. And we talked about this coming out of the game against the Spurs.
Yeah.
Like, Wemby is a driver now.
Yeah.
There are people who want to go and have the opportunity to say, I saw Victor Wembanyama in person. I saw the alien play.
Yeah.
And that's still the case with Kevin Durant. One of the best scorers that we've ever seen in the game. He still brings a crowd. If you like basketball and you have an opportunity to go see KD play, there are people out there who are like, yeah, of course I'm going to go see Rockets Grizzlies. And you're probably getting a pissed off Kevin Durant and a pissed off Rockets team coming off of that game. So maybe you'll see something extra special.
KD is my guy, and I did a story in Slam. Here's how old we are. I did a story when he played at Texas, the one season he had at Texas. He was going pro. Greg Oden was going pro. They were going to be the top 2 picks in the draft. And I interviewed both of them like within days of each other and asked them the same 20 questions as if I was a GM. And then we ran their answers together in Slam. We were like, you decide. Who would you take number 1? And I asked Greg Oden, I was like, if you were the number 1 pick, why would I take you number 1? He was like, well, I'm going to play hard. You know, he gave like a perfectly politically correct answer. And Kevin, I said, like, if I were going to take you number 1, what would, set you apart? And he said, if you're in front of me, I'll kill you. I don't care what you are, how good you are, whatever. I'm going to work until I'm better than you and I can take you out. And I was like, all right, I'd take that guy, like number 1.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and he's been like unbelievable. So his career has been incredible. And he shook Rudy Gobert on the last play of the game the other night. Got blocked, but he got open and he was the one who was scoring for them down the stretch. So still probably one of the top 10 players in the NBA.
Real quick, Braves, are they on YouTube?
I don't know.
Oh, what you
I'm on
emailed
cable.
your father?
They're on cable.
Oh, you're on cable.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a channel.
Yeah, they're on 1254 on
Braves
Xfinity Comcast.
Vision.
But they have their own streaming service. I think you have to watch it through MLB app if you don't have a cable.
That's where I get a little lost. Even I'm young
somehow
and I can figure
ESPN's
these things
involved in
out,
this
but I
too.
do get a
Yeah.
little lost on those.
People are mad that there's ESPN, whatever they call it, the ESPN Plus or something, the ESPN 3, their streaming service is somehow involved
I think
in
it's still ESPN Plus.
somehow it's involved in the MLB streaming service, and you have to pay an extra fee for that. Like, it's way above my level of comprehension. I just know, like, I have cable, I'm old, I have all the channels I need. I have thousands of channels. It's the greatest thing ever. And I get the Braves on there. So
That's good. And while we are watching Grizzlies Rockets here tonight and
Yeah.
Grizzlies Bulls tomorrow, the NCAA tournament continues. And I know you've started doing all of your pre-draft prep, and we're going to have that series again. So I was curious. I wanted to ask you, based on the first weekend of the tournament and through the games that we've seen last night, which prospective NBA draft pick has had the best tournament?
I mean, maybe Boozer because he's still alive out of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably take Benson number 1 just after watching these guys play so much. Boozer's number 2 for me. Peterson and Acuff are 3-4, but I don't know exactly which order you go with. I mean, Caleb Wilson hasn't played, so you got to
If Boozer lost tonight, if Duke loses to St. John.
Depends how he plays. I mean, the one thing about Boozer I'd say is, like, you know, Duke's been without their point guard for these first couple games.
And center.
Boozer's kind of been the point guard. I know his brother's played a lot too, but he's kind of been a point forward for them, and he'll bring it up and kind of set something up and get something going. And I mean, he's sort of played out of position and done pretty well. Like, I mean, that Siena game was tough, but then they looked much better the next one. So I think Boozer has done everything you could ask for him. I just think DeBanza has got a better, higher
It's funny
ceiling.
that you say that, because when I was doing this mental exercise this morning, I immediately thought back to BYU loses that opening game to Texas, but DeBanza's performance in that game, despite the loss, stands out as the best I watched this tournament. Acuff has been phenomenal, don't get me wrong. And
his DeBanza's teammates combined for 36 points in that game or something. Like, he had 30-something himself. Like, he's incredible. I also like that DeBanza's kind of had this spotlight on him for a couple of years now, and he's still doing fine. Like, he's producing. He hasn't gotten in trouble. He's doing everything you want him to do.
Right.
He's been great.
Unfortunately, you have no choice but to compare it to the other player who could be taken number one in Darren Peterson, and the opposite is there. Like, there's a lot of smoke around Darren Peterson.
A lot of questions, and he was 5 for 16 in that final game. Like, you know, he's played the last couple of weeks. Like, that kind of, I think they've done something to mitigate that discussion.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been great. Like, he was okay in some of those games, but he hasn't been great. And I don't know. The day the season ended, there was a story about how he's had like some mental problems, and he's been trying to like lock in that way and had some distractions. And I was like, all right, like when the stories come out the day the season ends or the day after the season ends, you know, it's always like some sort of pushback from the agents or somebody.
Right.
I keep seeing him compared to Kawhi, but like, you know, he's the silent assassin. There's also like family questions with him, the way they were with Kawhi. The thing about Kawhi, I just keep thinking is like, I mean, how many fan bases has he left in his wake? Like, just like Spurs fans were pissed when he goes. Raptors fans were pissed when he goes.
I thought Raptors fans were pretty.
I mean, he won a title, but then left like immediately. And I think like I just don't know with Peterson. Like, he scares me too much. I think DeBanza is like a more sure thing.
Well, it's this draft that has the NBA forced to evaluate tanking in a way that...
I'm confused by this.
So am I. So the NBA presented, and this is according to Shams Charania this morning, 3 comprehensive anti-tanking concepts to its Board of Governors on Wednesday, with modifications expected to each before a formal vote in May. So this is not the final draft, but this is their draft of things they could be looking at to combat tanking, which Adam Silver said, period,
we're going
to address this. Number 1. 18 teams in draft lottery, seeds 7 to 15 in each conference, flattened odds with bottom 10 teams having an 8% chance, remaining 20% odds distributed in increasing order for 11 through 18, and a lottery drawing for all 18 picks.
Yeah.
Number 2, 22 teams in the lottery using 2-year records, seeds 7 to 15 plus the 4 playoff first-round exits in both conferences. Lottery teams would reach a minimum win total floor in each season, such as 25 wins. If a team falls short of the floor, it gets slotted to meet the floor. Top 4 drawn as part of lottery, as is currently.
I don't know what that means.
And then number 3, 18 teams in a 5x5 lottery. Bottom 5 teams have equal odds for the top pick, with lottery formed for picks 1 through 5. Bottom 5 teams have floor at 10. Those that fall out of top 5 get sorted in a separate drawing.
Yeah, the first one to me...
Google Translate, go.
The first one to me just seems like what we have now. I don't really know how that's different. Like, they flatten the odds with the bottom teams. The other teams don't have as good odds. I mean, I guess it's different, but to me it seems very similar. The next 2, I did see someone ask AI what was the best option of these teams.
Okay.
Of these choices, and they said the second one would probably be the best option because it takes 2 years. There's like a 2-year period there, and it's not 1 year of tanking doesn't really do anything. Like it's
right.
It's
and
a
the way I read
process.
the first one would up teams to try to not make the play-in and into the bottom 10. So then you're still trying desperately to get into the bottom 10. And then the same thing, I guess, goes for the bottom 5 of the third option.
Isn't the easiest option just get rid of the lottery?
I mean, in comparison to
I
this,
think the thought is if we get rid of the lottery, then in like 11, 12, 13, 14 teams decide, we don't have a chance this year. Let's just start tanking immediately. as opposed to, hey, there's still a chance. There's still a chance. Okay, well, we're bad, but we have a percentage chance of getting that pick. So there's no reason for us to be really, really, really abhorrently bad in January. We can just do that now. I have no clue what the hell the second one is, but I do like, hey, you got to win this many games. We understand you're going to struggle, but if you can't win this many games, whatever that is, then there's a punishment coming for you.
Yeah.
So if that you got to win 25% of your games. That's not even respectable. That's not awful. That's not too much to ask, is it? 25% of 80, Jessica.
What's that? 20?
4 into 80.
25.
20.
20. Correct. Yes, we're asking you to win roughly 20 games.
I did it.
Women in
STEM.
Yay! We're asking you to win 20 games. If you don't win 20 games, no matter what, we're going to knock you down. You can't get a top 5 pick, and wherever you do pick from, we're going to knock you back 1 or 2 spots.
I also like the one where I've seen, it's not in these proposals, where they lock everything at the trade deadline.
I don't mind that one.
And then, there's no incentive to be bad the last month and a half of the season. If you're going to tank, do it in January or whatever.
And then you get a situation by force almost. Not by force, because some teams just won't be built to compete. But like the Pelicans, right? And like DeJounte Murray coming out and saying, I'm healthy now. I want to help this team establish what it means to win. We know we're out of the playoffs. We know we can't do this, but that doesn't mean we can't win games because they don't own their pick. So they have the freeness that these other teams don't have. Exactly. I like that. And I think I like it even more because I've seen what the Pelican situation is.
But look at Milwaukee right now, where Giannis wants to play and the Bucks don't want him to play, and that's a whole mess too. Yeah, so I
mean, it makes perfect sense.
It's
detrimental to the Bucks to win games right now.
And do they need a winning culture? They won a title a couple of years ago. They know how to win. Doc Rivers is the coach. I don't think it's for them. I don't know if it matters that much. But if these games don't affect your draft standing, then what's the matter? What's the care? I don't know.
That's the problem. The problem is the franchises. The problems are the ownership groups, the front offices that there's no real punishment for them being bad.
Yeah.
The punishment is to get fired. But if you get there and it's you've had a bit of success as is the case with the Bucks, it's hey, we won our championship. Let's just be bad and get a high draft pick and then figure it out from there. All the while, Giannis is sitting there, one of the more exciting players in the league right now, telling everybody, hey, I want to play. They don't want me to play. We're fighting because I want to play. And I think that's what the league is trying to step in and say, okay, we can't have this. He is you talked about it, Jessica, Wemby being a driver, Kevin Durant being a driver. Giannis is still a driver of fans to
If the
arenas.
Bucks were coming to play here next week,
we'd want to see Giannis.
It would be so disappointing for fans.
No one wants to see Miles
not
Turner.
See Giannis. Yeah, it's just the fact of the matter. That's how it goes. We will see you tonight, Lang.
Yeah,
look forward to it.
Jacob threw it up there real quick.
Oh yes, you had an experience as an NBA photographer.
I photographed an NBA game.
Coming off of our Caitlin Clark conversation yesterday. Her shots were great.
I did a piece for NBA.com. Nathaniel S. Butler is one of the great NBA photos guys of all time. One of the original ones. The shot of Bill Russell with all the rings. Nat took that photo. He's the Knicks and Nets photographer. I did a night with him. He gave me one of his cameras, kind of showed me the basics, and was shoot a game. So it was the Nets against the Blazers. These are some of the pictures I took. I was sitting courtside there.
I mean, it's not bad. At least the players in action are
keep going through them. I don't remember if
focused.
this is one of the good ones. So no, they're not focused.
That's not focused.
The thing I learned is that
one's not
probably my biggest lesson that Nat taught me was that you have to think ahead and you have to click the button before things happen. So, if a guy goes up
you
to
have to
dunk
think of it like a
you go up
pre-shutter.
and you have to focus too.
Right.
So you click it halfway to focus. Look at this one. I missed the shot. I totally missed whatever happened. I was ready. I got the camera up. I clicked it, and whatever happened, it happened. So it takes a while to kind of get used to that. But once I kind of got that part down, I started, and I noticed Caitlin Clark's best photos are not action photos.
They're stills.
They're just people standing around doing stuff. which is
But
a lot
her lighting
easier.
and her composition are really impressive.
So like that one came out pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the
Robin
blurred
Lopez.
background.
Yeah, with the
You
light
got a
on
little.
him.
I would have liked the rule of thirds, like the head cut off there is
Yeah.
a little awkward.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a two-time
the other
AP
thing-
photographer student. I got 2 5s on my AP photo portfolios
The
in
other
high
thing
school,
that
so I'll
happens
judge
is,
these appropriately.
is guys jump and they'll
yes.
jump out of the frame.
Well, I originally, when I did that AP photo project, I wanted to do a sports portfolio, and
Yeah.
I quickly learned how hard it is to shoot sports, and I said, nope, I am not doing
Yeah.
a sports portfolio because I will fail at this, and I'm trying to get a good score to
All
get
the
into
good
college.
ones I took were people standing still, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, with no action.
Good start.
The action photos were super hard to do. The other thing I learned is that those cameras, the NBA photo cameras, have flashes hooked up all through the ceiling.
Yeah, those are, yeah.
And when you click it, it does a quick strobe, and people don't really notice it in the arena.
Yep.
But it's all triggered together,
It's
and
fascinating.
it was really hard.
And some of
so-
those cameras that are mounted in different
Yep.
places that get really cool shots. I,
Shout out
obviously, on
Caitlin.
the local news side, ended up shooting a lot of highlights from a
Yep.
film standpoint. And even the art of that is hard. Like when you're first doing it, it's ridiculously hard. Golf is the hardest of all because following that little white ball.
My biggest fear was I was sitting on the floor under the basket. I just didn't
Getting
want
taken
somebody to
out.
hurt.
Yeah.
All I could
You
think
didn't
about-
want to be the one responsible
Yep.
for
And they
injuring
were
a
like,
player.
why is
Yeah.
this idiot from NBA.com injuring guys? I asked Nat, I was like, what do I do if they're coming at me? He said, be still. Don't try to like get up or duck or whatever. Be still. And these guys are good enough athletes that they'll figure out a way to get around you.
There was a great moment with Caitlin Clark with one of the like veteran photographers on the court, and he turns to her and asks, he goes, "Are you scared?"
Yeah.
And she just goes, "No." And I was like, of course. Cool, calm, collected, ready
Yeah.
to go. Got the shots.
Anyway.
Very cool. Thanks for the show and tell.
Yeah.
We will see you tonight on the
Let's
warm-up
go.
show, 6 o'clock on Grind City Media. We will take a quick break. When we come back, the University of Memphis announced their new women's basketball coach. I reached out to a friend at Georgia Southern, her previous place of employment, and I'll tell you why she says it is a great hire for the University of Memphis. Plus, still ahead, Prep Curry will join us in studio. All that and more on the other side. Fridays at FedEx Forum just got a whole lot more fun for the family. With the Family Friday ticket offer, a $35 game ticket gets you a $10 food voucher and access to pregame shoot-around. Additionally, for every 4 tickets purchased, you get an autographed item from the Grizzlies vault. Capture moments that last a lifetime for birthdays, youth groups, and other family-friendly celebrations. Visit grizzlies.com/Friday to grab your tickets today. Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis. Didn't you think draft night you were going to Miami?
Because they had that interview.
Oh my God.
Oh,
that was the thing.
That pre-draft interview where they're like, if you could go to dinner with 4 people, and you're like,
All right,
Eric
now let's-
Spoelstra, Dwayne Wade.
That was literally before the national championship game.
Oh, wait.
And they tried to make it seem like that was during pre-draft.
Oh,
So whenever all that came
no.
out on
Did you
Twitter, I was
dirty.
just laughing.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Each challenge is unique, so each game plan is customized to identify opportunity and the path to victory. It's true in basketball, it's true in banking, Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle with personalized planning and advice. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by May 30th, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
The Grizzlies have been consistent as one of the top 2 or 3 most productive benches all season long.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Welcome back. Welcome back. The University of Memphis announced their new women's basketball coach yesterday. Hannah Hayden will replace Alex Simmons as the new head coach at Memphis. Hannah Hayden was the 2026 Sun Belt Coach of the Year at Georgia Southern. That was a team that was picked to finish 10th in the conference. They ended up going 23-8. They went 16-2 in conference. And considering this is a Georgia Southern team that 2 years ago went 4-14 in conference. Hannah Hayden's first year there, they went 6-12, and then 16-2 this year. That is quite the turnaround. Before she was at Georgia Southern, she was at Georgia Southwestern State, where she was the WBCA Division II Coach of the Year. Before that, she was at Moberly Area Community College, where she made 5 tournament appearances at that level. She's from Springfield. She played at Western Carolina, at Missouri St. Louis, and Mineral Area College. I have a friend who works at Georgia Southern, and so I messaged her yesterday. I said, hey, what can you tell me about Hannah Hayden? She's the new Memphis women's basketball coach. And I thought this was very interesting, along with the idea that she's won everywhere that she's been. Like, everywhere that she has been a winner, including Georgia Southern, including getting Coach of the Year honors in the Sun Belt this year. But she mentioned she's huge on community service. Like, from a crowd standpoint, she talked about the turnaround at Georgia Southern from having pretty small crowds, but Hannah Hayden made such a commitment to both herself and getting her team out in the community, and then the payoff in attendance, because when you're out in the community, you develop relationships with people, and those people care, and then those people want to come to the games, and then they are filling butts and seats, and suddenly you have crowds that you didn't have before. That sounds like a really important part of her process, her strategy, along with winning. You want to win. Winning brings attention. Winning brings care factor and all of that. But I thought from a standpoint of how we've talked about just the lack of commitment from the city, the commitment from fans to Memphis women's basketball. And listen, the biggest thing is investment and continued investment and getting them the resources and continuing to put an emphasis on turning Memphis women's basketball into a winning culture. But ever since I've been here, the care factor on Memphis women's basketball has been low. Even when Katrina Merriweather was putting together a winning team before she went back to her alma mater, there just hasn't been that connection here. And so that is something that they have now picked Hannah Hayden as the next person responsible for trying to change that around. And it will be very interesting to see how she does. But we're coming from a place where there has not been a lot of love from this city for Memphis women's basketball in a long time.
Yeah, if you're not gonna support the athletics, I don't want to go full RC Johnson, but do away with it.
Uncle RC.
Cause it's
Who are you?
Wait, not RC. Why am I blanking on coach's name? Cause it's painful. Why am I blanking on painful? It's gonna bother me until we get.
You did the rant.
I did, and I messed it up by crediting RC. It wasn't RCE. Jacob, who's the coach?
Why can't I? Tommy West.
Tommy West.
God.
It's a Tommy West thing. It's painful.
It's painful.
Painful. But yeah, like he was right then about football, and the sentiments hold true for everybody. And now, because we're talking about women's basketball, now it holds true for women's basketball. If you're not going to support it as a university, man, what are you doing? You got to support it. If you build it, they will come. Now, if you get out into the community and you engage with the community, because the University of Memphis is Memphis's team. And so if community feels like you rock with them, they'll be out there to support. And then maybe with that community involvement, that level of support, maybe then that can lead to the university recognizing that, oh, there's a true gem here. We do need to put money into it and get them what they need to compete in this conference.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the energy that Charles Huff has on the football side right now, I think is really positive. Tuning into these press conferences during spring practice and getting to know some of these assistants who have come in has been a good exercise in just finding ways to care about a program leading up to a season. And so maybe Hannah Hayden has a similar impact. Obviously, everything around the men's basketball program and Penny Hardaway coming back is its own separate storyline. But Memphis is in a bit of a point of crisis. Like, you have to get fans to care. You have to get the new generation of fans to care. And unfortunately, not every team is going to win every game. And so you have to find ways to do that outside of simply, hey, this team's winning a lot of games. So you got to build it from the ground up, I guess, is where we're at with Memphis women's basketball especially. So we will see if that day comes. I'm excited. Hannah Hayden's introductory press conference is next Wednesday at the U of M, and hopefully we can get her on the show. But Alan in the chat, perfect point. Charles Huff has not won a chat. Shout out, not won a chat. It's Friday. Has not won a game, and he hasn't. And yet I was having a conversation with someone last night who was like, what do you think is going to happen with the University of Memphis? And I said, you know what? I don't know, but Charles Huff has great energy going into the year, and I think there's a genuine excitement going into next season. Now, they could get out on the field and stunk, and then you're having a different conversation. But right now it's the offseason, and the only thing you can do is build up. It's not the only thing you can do. You could be a dud, and there could be absolutely no energy going into next season. So I think you're coming from a positive place. We'll see if Hannah Hayden can do it on the women's basketball side as well. What are you over there? You are working your butt off in the chat over there.
The people in the chat they can be imbeciles sometimes, man. By people, I mean my daddy. Like, why are you so mad about the damn play-in all of a sudden?
We're still mad about the play-in.
He's just furious about the play-in. Not all of a sudden. The play-in. But today, he's just going in on the play-in.
Why?
He has already taken shots at Embiid and Dame, which is expected. That's fine. That's par for the course. He's taking shots at Nashville Hot Chicken. BET is catching it as well. I don't know what's going on. The play-in is fine.
You put stakes on something and it immediately has matter.
but it doesn't matter a whole bunch. It's not like we're sitting here like, oh my gosh, can't wait to see these play-in teams play. They're going, with the exception of the Clippers, because that's our team. With the exception of them. But like it's just like, okay, the play-in is here. It prevents teams seeded in the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 range from tanking in both conferences.
Hornets, please.
It's fine. It's a way to prevent tanking. They play, they go on to the playoffs. Usually, if I remember correctly, it's 7, 8 every single year ends up in the playoffs anyway. So it doesn't really change that much anyways. End up in the playoffs. They get their asses bounced in the first round, just like the 7, 8s have always done. What the hell are we talking about?
Unless you're the Clippers and the Hornets.
Are we on the Hornets also?
I don't know yet.
Are we on the Hornets
TBD.
also? All right. We're definitely on the Clippers.
The Celtics look pretty damn good.
We're definitely on the Clippers. But maybe they get matched up with the Pistons? With an injured Cade?
With an injured Cade?
Maybe.
Good things happen? Maybe. I'd hate it for the Pistons.
He's mad about the in-season tournament, which is just regular season games. It's just regular season games. What are you talking about? Every single game is a regular season game. They've given us soup, and they've thrown a little bit more salt and pepper in it. That's all they're doing. They're not lying. They're not tricking. It's not like we're getting too worked up about these things.
Yeah. They put some potatoes.
Gosh.
They put a little meat in it.
That's all it is.
Soup.
It's like, hey, we've got this.
It's an appetizer.
We've got this nice. Nobody gets mad at the appetizers. The main course, people get mad about.
Please, the Triple Dipper, one of the greatest appetizer plates of all time. Did you see Chili's this week?
I know they had something going on.
They responded because Ruth Chris has said you can't wear.
They
said you can't wear baseball caps anymore. Is it T-shirts? It can't be T-shirts. T-shirt is way too broad. I don't know. I barely paid attention, but I just saw that Chili's clapped back, and I was like, "That's my Chili's."
Oh, Chili's said you
can wear anything.
I saw
Chili's.
So the way I saw it, I didn't know Ruth Chris was on that type of kick. I saw the Chili's because Chili's was quote tweeted with somebody else's restaurant who said, "Hey, you don't have to wear pants in here." It's like, oh, nice. Nice.
It was.
Or you can be naked in here or something like that.
Yeah, the only dress code at Chili's is that you have to be dressed. What does that mean? It's provocative. You could wear anything, whatever you want. And Ruth's Chris's had their business casual proper attire. So no baseball caps, no gym wear, no pool attire, no tank tops, clothing with offensive graphics or language, revealing clothing, or exposed undergarments. What is this, my high school?
Like, okay, but I don't. If you live in a place and the best restaurant you have is Ruth's Chris, I'm sorry for you. I apologize.
Oh, I like a Ruth's Chris.
Okay.
They're consistent.
Great. Last time you went to a Ruth's Chris.
We had a gift card when we moved to Memphis, and I learned that the Ruth's Chris is here. It was like 2017.
Okay, all right.
And
Thank you. Well, I don't need all the rest of it. It's been a decade since you've been to Ruth's Chris. A perfectly fine restaurant, a fine establishment. But like it's better food out there than the
I've been
chain
to Chili's
food
more recently than I've been to a Ruth's Chris. I went to Chili's for the Wicked drinks.
Yeah.
I have an entire group chat named after Chili's now. We are the Triple Dipper. Who has more impact on the culture? Clearly Chili's. All right, we got to take a quick break because Prep Curry is hanging out outside the studio. He has the latest 191 collab. We will catch up with Prep on the other side for Grizzlies Rockets tonight. 191 collabs ahead. Prep Curry when we come back.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Wells, a rhythm three. Yes, sir! Exclamation point on this game.
Grizz fans, defend your home court from pests with Terminix. Before cockroaches, spiders, and mice show up, Terminix it with our pest-free 365 plus year-round protection plan. Visit Terminix.com today and enter code SAVE50 at checkout to save $50. Terms apply. Go Grizzlies!
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Talk me through what you've been going through since draft night.
Just a lot of figuring out of things, coming off the bench over there at Utah, just trying to find a role over there, and then here in the whole year. Things are going to be different after the deadline. Rookies don't get traded, so we'll see how it is after that. Rookies do get traded, in case anybody was wondering.
You weren't even worried going into the trade deadline, were you?
I mean, not at all. I'm going to be honest with you.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Welcome back. It is Friday, and we are so excited to have a special guest in studio, Prep Curry, with another 191 collab coming up. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Good to see you. Good to have you back for another year.
Yes, ma'am.
What excites you most about this collection?
I mean, the third time. It's something I've never done with any business, is actually collab with them 3 times. So this is big for me, and this is my home. So, it's about the city.
What was the inspiration for this particular collection? Because it is loud, it is exciting. We got a lot of patterns. I know we have some pictures of some of the products available. I'm obsessed with the furry hoodie up at the top. What was the design concept here?
Really just to give you guys something that's exclusively unique. And just me, just to step out the box a little bit more and not be as safe, I guess you want to say.
What was the biggest risk that you took, in your opinion?
I don't even think I have one. I mean, well, naming it 3-peat.
Okay.
That's probably like the biggest thing. The comments are going crazy on social media right now. People upset about that. But
why?
Because they're talking about, we never had any championship with the Grizzlies at all. So, because, 3-peat is a title of championships. But I said it's my championship because it's my third actual collab with them, which a lot of people don't ever get that opportunity to collab with somebody multiple times. So, it was big for me. But, yeah, I wanted to start some controversy, if you want to be honest.
It's not your fault that you got asked 3 times. That's your 3-peat. I love that for you.
Hey.
You're obviously so heavily involved. Like you said, this is home for you and in the Memphis community. And I always like to ask people in your chair and the various designers who have come through, because you're so in touch with like the arts community here in Memphis. So what's something exciting happening in Memphis right now that people need to know about outside of the 191 collab happening tonight?
The fact that I'm opening up manufacturing and a actual fabric store. It's basically a mega hub of fashion that I'm opening up in Memphis, in North Memphis. And we already started breaking ground, doing renovations and everything like that. So we will be opening up before this year's up.
That's so exciting. Is this something that you've always had a dream of doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while. I actually tried to do it in LA and it just didn't work out, but it makes sense to do it here with all of the people I know that need that. I mean, it's just automatic, so.
Okay, so walk me through opening a fabric store. Obviously, the concept is a place you can go to buy fabric.
Correct.
But who's your target audience? Are you looking for people trying to get in the fashion space? Is it more just, I remember as a kid, when you said that, Joann's Fabric was like a big chain. And I remember we had a class where we were going to make pillows, specifically pillows shaped like dinosaurs. And the activity of going to a fabric store with my mom and getting to pick out any fabric that I wanted, and we picked out 2 because I was going to make one side and one the other, and it was like the most exciting thing in the world. So just from a standpoint of who are you looking to target as a fabric store of who would be coming to your place?
Honestly, any and everybody.
Okay.
You got so many people with the arts and crafts. I mean, you got the senior citizens that like to make blankets. You got people that like to do little trinkets. You got people that, I mean, it's a lot of people that need fabric. And Joann's was the last one that we had here in Memphis, and it's closed.
Yeah.
So they closed all around the world. They went bankrupt. And that's unfortunate. But now we only have Hobby Lobby, and you can only get a very small, limited amount of fabric there. So it's outside of just Memphis, it's everybody from the South region that can come to Memphis. So it's basically to start an ecosystem.
That's awesome.
Where do you know where you're putting it?
It's in North Memphis.
Is it North Memphis? Okay.
It's 63 acres of land, and we're about to just build this up.
Oh, amazing. And I know you love fabrics because, I mean, even the jacket that you have is in patterns, I should say. Because you got the flowers on the out, the cheetah on the in, and the like varsity cuff going on.
Well, that's
Did
my
you make
thing.
this?
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Of course. I don't wear anybody else's clothes. Carly says it all the time. Like, oh my God, Prep, you always got on your stuff. I'm like, that's how I have to do it.
That's how I build the brand.
Yeah.
That's how I sell the
So I used to always wear Ralph Lauren.
Okay.
That's all I wore. And then it got to the point I threw everything away or gave it away. And I said, I'm finna wear only my clothes. So every time you see me, you're seeing Prep Curry wearing Prep Curry.
Do you have a name for the store?
For the store?
Yeah.
Prep Station.
Prep Station? Okay, so Prep Station's coming. That's exciting. North Memphis. We'll keep an eye on that. What is the best thing that you have eaten locally in the last month?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't eat a lot of different things. I'm not a pescatarian, but I don't eat beef. I don't eat pork. I barely eat like fried foods at all. I love French fries.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't eat too many things. Mostly, I'm eating a lot of seafood.
Okay. Have you gone to any new restaurants?
No.
No? Okay. Have you gone to any like art events?
Yes.
Okay. What's the coolest one that you've been to?
Well, I have to be, I got to tell the truth. The coolest thing I just recently did a big fashion show, and I had Kia Shine, Lance Gross, Elise Neal. It was a lot of people in Memphis that are really talented. So it was a musical. So I had people singing while the actual runway show was going on the whole entire time. So it was really unique. And I want to say that was probably like the dopest thing. And I'm not saying it because it was mine, but it was because so many people of different walks of life were under the same roof, and that's really unheard of in the city.
That's cool.
I've seen some of that come across my social, and one of the things that I think about is, how would somebody just get involved? How would somebody say, "Oh, I want to do this. I want to be a fashionista, or I want to be a model for one of these people"? How can people who aren't as connected as some of the folks in the show get involved in the show?
Well, every time I post anything about a show coming up, it's like a casting. So you can reach out and say, hey, I would like to do this, I would like to do that. But realistically, and I have to say this and respectfully, it's certain levels that I will deal with though. If you're in the super beginning stage, that might not be the stage for you. You have to actually get to the point where you're ready for it. And some people really want the opportunity thrown their way more so than actually,
I've encountered some of that because we're all doing different things, but there are some similarities. People will come up like, hey, let me get on the show. It's like, come on, man. You gotta work here. You gotta earn this, whatever this is. Can you give some tips, some pointers on somebody who is starting out trying to get their footing on what they need to do, what things they should look to try and do to get up a level and keep progressing through their journey?
Yeah. The biggest thing I will always say to any and everybody is stop trying your best to reach out to so many people, because some people will give you the cookie cutter responses, and it's not anything that's actually gonna help you out. One thing that helped me is I started researching whatever I wanted to know. Google is the biggest and best thing. Just research it. So you don't have to constantly, hit people up and say, hey, I need this, I need that. They're not always gonna be at your aid to do that for you. You gotta figure it out yourself.
I saw you also did a collaboration with the National Civil Rights Museum this past year and had a really cool Martin Luther King Jr. shirt that came out. Is there another place locally that you can think of off the top of your head that you would love to collab with? And it doesn't even have to be, right, okay, who come to mind?
FedEx.
Okay. Ooh.
FedEx.
I love that.
I'm on the big global side of things at this point of mindset.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, so I want to, Delta, like the airlines. I'm thinking about bigger things than just the surface.
All right, well, we can't wait to see what comes next for you. We're so excited for this collection. Prep Curry's three-peat collection available tonight at FedEx Forum. You have to be here to get it. 191 collabs in the Grizz Den before Grizzlies Rockets tonight. Prep, thank you as always for joining us. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do a little Music Friday, some new music. The iHEART Music Awards were last night as well. We'll get into that after a quick break. Yeah. Welcome back. Thanks to Prep Curry for coming in studio. 191 collabs available tonight. We'll do a little Music Friday before we get out of here and into the weekend and our Grizzlies doubleheader ahead. We were talking yesterday, CJ, about Caitlin Clark, obviously, coming off of the photography thing, and we had this conversation about how anything she does is news and how she is a true star, a superstar, and a newsmaker. And I was watching nightly news last night, just casually, waiting for the basketball games to start. And NBC Nightly News did a segment on Caitlin Clark shooting that Lakers-Pacers game, which was so funny. And just the perfect, if you needed someone to validate, and we don't need anyone to validate the conversations we have, but to validate what we were saying yesterday as it pertains to Caitlin Clark, that was that. So when I say that the only person I can think of right now who makes news more than Caitlin Clark is Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was at the iHeart Awards last night, and she popped up, and suddenly she was all over my timeline because it was Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's first award show date. We have not seen them at an award show together. Last night was their debut at the iHeart Awards. Obviously not their debut as a couple. They've been together. They are engaged. They are going to have a wedding. But they were at the iHeart Awards last night together for the first time.
First time at an event.
At an award show.
Publicly since they've gotten engaged?
Technically.
I mean, she
goes to games.
To games, but it's not like they're like walking around together. Okay.
Yeah, because we see her in the booth. We don't see a lot. And it's not like when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl and she's involved in all of that. Yeah, I think it would be.
Even when they won it, they weren't engaged.
No, that's what I mean. I mean, like, since they got engaged, this was their first public date, their first PR date. And she won an award.
She won 7.
And well, specifically the pop album of the year, I believe is what it was. I don't have the answers to this. My first thought was, why is Taylor Swift at the iHeart Awards? Like, no offense to the iHeart Awards, and there were a lot of people there, but like Taylor Swift is Taylor Swift, and I just, as someone who's not as tapped in, that's on me. I'm iHeart Award ignorant, but Taylor was there, and she won 7 awards, including Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, and at one point, like, she thanked Travis Kelce for making, her so happy right now and being one of the reasons why this album is what it is, because she's in such a positive place in her life. And they cut to him and he mouthed, "I love you." And I was like, oh my God, they've got me in their clutches. I genuinely care about this couple. And I was excited to see it. I had no idea that the iHeart Awards were last night. I had no idea that Taylor Swift was going to be there. I had no idea that Travis Kelce was going to be there. And next thing I know, I'm like, aren't they cute? And Ray is performing "Where's My Husband?" and they cut to Taylor and Travis having a little moment during that, and she's showing her ring when Ray is like, "Where the hell is my husband? Whatever that song is." I love Ray. Her album dropped today. It's one of my most anticipated albums of this next few months, and I'm very excited to listen to the whole thing. But yeah, Taylor and Travis, they still got it. And they still will. Do we know when the wedding is?
Like, are we...
God, well, we have such opportunity.
Are we doing this like the royal wedding? Where are we taking
June 13th?
June 13th. Numerology 613.
The historic high-end ocean house in Rhode Island, situated near her coastal home.
Are they going to let people take
symbolism?
Photographs?
June 13th, 2026. 61326 combines her favorite number with a year that fits her numerology preferences.
Oh my God!
What a time!
This is our royal wedding.
No, because the royal wedding was televised.
This won't be
I don't believe
televised?
this will be televised.
This is a
private wedding. Obviously, somebody owns the rights to the photos. And
Somebody's got to, whoever gets the rights to the photos, got to find a way to get rights to stream.
I don't think they want that.
We don't show the actual ceremony. Because they didn't, did they show?
When's the last time we
want
had...
to show the people walking in. We want boots on the ground. We want to treat it like a red carpet. We want to treat it like the Met. That's what we want to do, the Met Gala, where we talk to all of the people as they walk in, and then everybody goes inside, and we don't say anything to them.
We don't do televised wedding.
No.
The royal family's really got us. We should. Why are we letting the Brits do something better than us?
This is the televised wedding.
This is our royal wedding.
This is the wedding. This is the one.
We should have more opportunities.
And again, you don't have to, because they show it all. They show all the pomp and circumstance.
Every single moment.
And you get in there and you're watching them say vows, I do's, kiss, or whatever. We don't want that. We got better things to do. But on a random June day, we would love for it to, again, be a red carpet event where don't take us inside. Don't take us to the intimacy stuff.
But
don't even, maybe you give us something from the reception. But just the lead up of, hey,
let me see Andy Reid on the red carpet going to Travis and Taylor's wedding.
Right after Selena Gomez, isn't that the one they're cool with? So Andy Reid comes through and is like, "Oh, Andy, great to see you. Oh, wait, Andy, Selena's here. We got to go talk to Selena real quick." Right? Like, give us that.
Speaking of Selena Gomez, I watched the end of that Miley Cyrus special that I was like, the beginning of it was great. She performs. It's the old Hannah Montana songs. They're like, awesome. It was a really weird special. It was a little weird.
What do you mean?
It was the Alex Cooper interview piece of it. I thought you could have done without. And Alex Cooper like came from the super fan. Alex Cooper is call her daddy, and so she did the like skeleton interview that kind of held it all together. But then like Selena Gomez popped up.
Was she in the show?
Yes, she was. But it was a really weird juxtaposition of Selena coming, who I'm connecting dots that I have no idea if they're actually connected, but I thought this is a Disney property. Selena is still on Only Murders in the Building. They picked Selena Gomez. Miley and her came up at the same time, but they've never been like particularly close. And Miley even talks about how like there's no one in her life who she can talk to who had the same experience as her. And it wasn't like throwing shade at Selena. It just happened that Selena was there. And so in my brain, I connected the two. And I'm like, so they're not really friends. It was definitely a PR type situation putting her there. And then like none of the original cast members were a part of the special. Some of them came to the premiere, but they weren't a part of the special. And so the most meaningful parts were like with her mom, which I saw before, we talked about it earlier this week, and then her dad does show up, and they seem to be at least baseline have a relationship again, and it's emotional, and you can tell there's a lot of big emotions from both of them that can't come out in this very cookie cutter constructed 1 hour special that Disney put on. I just wanted if it was going to be that, I would have just preferred a concert. She should have just done like 8 songs and called it good. It was odd.
Yeah,
it was a little
so
odd.
when the trailer for it came out, all it showed was Miley and Billy Ray. I was like, okay, they're calling it a reunion.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this show had more than just 2 people on it. So I'm assuming everybody is going to be there. And that was the question that I had, and I wasn't going to watch it to find out. But you watched it, and so it's
Selena Gomez, who was like a side bit character.
But she was on the show.
She was on the show,
like consistently on the show, or did she just come?
She like played her adversary, so she wasn't on every episode.
But she was on the show.
She was a recurring character.
That's a character, a recurring character that you'd want to hear from. So nobody else. I don't know what the makeup of the show was, but I'm assuming there was a sibling of some sort, or there were other
like the
characters.
friends, the 2 main friends weren't on it.
Yeah.
Even like there was like a young boy character who was like a comedic relief bit part who wasn't on it. Yeah, Beans, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, they weren't there. Like Emily Osment, who plays her like best friend on the show, specifically said like, "I'm so sorry to miss this, but I'm working." I'm like, okay, well if it really mattered, like. You could have bent something, not from her standpoint, but I mean, like Disney could have shuffled it around. Miley could have shuffled it around. It was just odd. It was just an odd special. Anyway, that's all I have to say about it.
It's odd because it was called Reunion.
No, it was not called Reunion.
Oh, what was it called?
Specifically, it was called the Hannah Montana 20th Anniversary Special.
Yeah, like that. That to me implies that everybody's getting together.
And again, if it's not a reunion, it should have just been a Hannah Montana concert.
Yeah.
She should have done a Best of Both Worlds concert. And she could have, like as an adult, done those Hannah Montana songs and then meshed with her her music post Miley. There was also so much. She lived a very dramatic turn there, just from like the heel turn that she took from being little Hannah Montana to twerking on Robin Thicke at the VMAs and everything, and her cultural appropriation era that transpired.
We don't have to go through that.
No, but I mean, I think it's like she's such an interesting person. If we're looking at it through that lens, I thought that could have all been, and she seems to be pretty open about talking about it in other interview settings. This one just felt very Disneyfied in a glossy way that wasn't interesting. It wasn't interesting.
It wasn't interesting.
No, it wasn't interesting.
Okay.
I put it on as background on my run for the rest of it.
Got you.
I was like, outside of the songs.
So that's the problem. It was just boring.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Anyway, I do think Travis and Taylor would have a bigger wedding than the royal wedding. More people would watch it.
No.
The royal wedding
ain't no way.
Ain't
no way in hell more people will watch this.
The royal wedding had a global audience of 1.9 billion.
Okay.
I swear to you.
There's
yes, it
no
is. Did you not see her
way.
world tour? She matters to more people than the royal family does.
Does she? Because the royal family hadn't gone on tour in quite some time, if I remember correctly.
Exactly.
I don't think that you can measure the interest based off of the two, based off of, hey, look how well Taylor Swift did on tour.
I think, but my point with that was that it's not just an American phenomenon. It's a global phenomenon.
You're right on that. You're right. It's not just American. It does reach different parts of the globe. But did 1.9 billion people go to Taylor Swift
Let's see.
tour?
How many people went to the Eras tour?
I don't think 1.9 billion went.
10 million people went.
All right, come on, man.
The tour grossed over $2 billion.
Yes.
You know I'm bad with math and perception.
No,
of
women
number
in
of
STEM.
people.
Women in STEM, man.
Okay, how many people watched the Bad Bunny halftime show?
How many? It wasn't 1.9 billion. It was like 250 million, maybe.
4.1 billion global views
Okay.
across 24 hours.
Okay. No.
We just view things in different ways too. Like 2018, when Meghan and Harry got married, is a different time than 2026.
True.
You would have so many. You could do the juiced up numbers using streaming services and everything, like online, TikTok
you could
Live,
clip things and
Instagram
stuff.
Live, YouTube Live.
Maybe. I'm thinking of, hey, the event from tip to tail. So the event starts at 9. We're going to be on the red carpet, and it'll end, I don't know what time they're getting married, but it's going to end at like 4 o'clock outside. So I'm thinking about that window, because that's what the royal wedding was. The royal wedding had people sitting in their seats the entire people woke up early and like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to see it from tip to tail.
Correct.
No, I don't think it would do that. Now, if we start throwing in all the social media components to it, and here's this clip that's got this and that clip that's got that, absolutely, it'll add up to be more than 1.9 billion.
You listening to anything good?
I ended up listening to, because Xavier in the chat pointed it out to me. I wasn't going to, and I'm glad he pointed it out. The Jay-Z sit-down interview with GQ, and it was really, really good. Sometimes those interviews can sort of meander a bit, and I can get lost in what the person being interviewed is, what they are, what they want to be, some regrets that they may have. But not in this. It is to the point, and it starts with hey, how was your 2025? And Jay-Z, I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you, it was tough, because there were those allegations that he was doing the same stuff Diddy was doing. And Jay-Z talks about fighting it and why he wanted to fight it. He said, listen, I could have just paid people off and been done with it, gone on with my life, but that would have eaten at me. And for those who don't know, there was a rape allegation and a statutory rape allegation, both coming from the same person, if I remember correctly. And Jay-Z, because they got Puff, they got Sean Combs on it. And she was saying that Jay-Z was looped into it as well. Jay-Z said, no, I was not. That's not what I do. And there are a ton of people who have come out in light of the Sean Combs stuff, saying, hey, I was at the party. I did not know this was going on after I left. I was in this room of the party, and then I'm leaving. I don't know what happens when I leave. Yeah, we were close. We were business associates. I didn't know this is what he was doing. And Jay-Z is one of those people. So it starts with that, and he offers some insight there. And then, man, it goes, and it's quick. It's only 30 minutes, and there's not a whole lot of meandering about. It goes from the creativity of the family, particularly Beyonce and Blue. It goes on to talk some about relationship with J. Cole, why the Super Bowl halftime show was what it was in 2025. I thought that was interesting. Everybody's going to find different things interesting about it.
Yeah.
I thought him talking about why he chooses artists for Rock Nation Super Bowl is like, oh, okay, illuminating. Okay, I get it now. So I thought, and I don't know if anybody else thought this, I feel like people thought, okay, Jay-Z is in charge of the Super Bowl show. Y'all get ready. It's going to be bliggity black up in this thing. We're going to have a bunch of rappers. We're going to have a bunch of R&B singers. It's going to be black. And it hasn't been. And I think, and I know in talking in certain circles that has been something that has frustrated black people. Where it is, hey, why are we getting Shakira and J-Lo? We don't rock with them like that. Why is Lady Gaga on this stage? We don't rock with it. And if you go back and you start thinking about all the Super Bowl performances since they've took over, they've been really, really good.
Yeah.
They have been. Whether you like the artists or not, they've been the biggest.
Artistry has been
the
high end.
biggest names in the music industry all the way to this point with Bad Bunny being in the Super Bowl. He talks about Kendrick, speaks glowingly about Kendrick's Super Bowl performance and the choices.
So that was the one thing that crossed over onto
Yeah.
the two things were the allegation comments, and then also the idea of going back and re-discussing the Kendrick Drake beef. And I don't know if it was in the context of leading up to the Super Bowl, but just, we got to this point where Kendrick's on stage at the Grammys singing Not Like Us, and then he's singing it at the Super Bowl, and it's like, holy hell, like this is the pinnacle of having your beef reach a level where you're able to say your adversary is a pedophile on that big of a stage, essentially. But then Jay-Z, what I saw, said that we've maybe have moved past from a rap standpoint the need for beef. What was that conversation like?
That conversation was incredible. That was my favorite. Well, my favorite part of the conversation, him talking about being a billionaire and the blowback to that. And shout out to the interviewer, because he asked pointed questions.
That guy is such a good. I
straight
saw
to
who it was.
Hey, what do you think about when people say billionaires are evil and they're no good billionaires? And Jay-Z goes through answering it, and his answer is insightful. We can talk about that later or not. You're asking about the beef. He said that there are 4 pillars of rap, and you got to go back, listen to the whole thing. It's not a long listen. It's an easy listen. Yeah. The clips don't do it justice. Go listen to the whole thing. 4 pillars of hip hop were graffiti, breakdance, DJing, and beef, battling. Yeah. Not beef, but battling. And he goes through and lays out, okay, here's 3 of them. They are gone now. It's just one thing left, and it's battling. And here's why I think battling should be done. Talks about how much oxygen it takes up, talks about stan culture and the negativity that comes with that in these situations. And he doesn't talk about it in general, but particularly in these situations. And it is, listen, man, there at a certain point, there's got to be lines. I can't be coming out here trying to destroy this man's family. That's not what this is. I can't be trying to take earning power away. That's not what battling is. We're supposed to battle about whose flow is better, who's got better bars, who's a better lyricist. That's what the battle is supposed to be about. And it's crazy coming from the guy who up until 2024 had the biggest rap beef known to hip hop. And it was him and Nas. And he's saying, yo, it's gone too far. I don't think we need it. He sounds like an old man, like, hey, you kids, calm the hell down. But I think there's truth in that. Then saw this from Cole, because he sat down and did an interview also this week. And he's like, yo, I looked around and I realized they weren't battling anymore. That's not what this is. This is no longer a battle. This is something else. And I can't, I'm here to battle with you. I'm not here to do all this other sort of stuff. And I'm not trying to end you. I'm not trying to talk about your family or talk about abuse allegations or talk about hidden children allegations. I'm not here for any of that. Let me bow out. That seems to be why J. Cole took himself completely out of it.
Infamously apologized.
Yeah, like he talked about it also. I'm lumping a bunch of interviews in since we brought up Kendrick and Cole.
Yeah.
Not Kendrick and Cole, Kendrick and Drake. He heard the verse. He heard the verse on Like That. He's like, oh, this is hard. This is incredible. He didn't know what he was supposed to be listening to, but he was like, yo, this is really, really good. And then his second reaction was, oh, why would you do it right now, though, Kendrick? Like, you've got 2 songs on the fall off. The fall off is done. You know the fall off is done. Why would you drop this right now? I can't use the 2 tracks, and I've got to go back through and tweak some things now. But like that's kind of the nature of rap. It's evolving, it's changing. All music is evolving and changing. It was interesting to hear Jay-Z talk about some of those things in addition to some of the other stuff he talked about. It was really, really good.
I'll go listen to it so I can hear his takes on being a billionaire. I like those GQ interviews. I think they do a really good job.
The biggest thing that I think separates us, because we feel similarly about this from Jay-Z, is we don't like the system, change it, take it down. Jay-Z is, it doesn't matter what the system is, tell me the rules and watch me go out there and get it. And once he gets the rules to it, the system could change. Jay-Z is one of the people I think system could change today. You could pick him up at 20, You could pick him up at 13, 14, 15, drop him off in a completely different system. And if he can figure out the rules, he's going to get all of the resources he can. Yeah. Good stuff.
I'll listen to it. Anyway, it is Friday. We will see everybody for Grizzlies Rockets tonight at FedEx Forum. Grizzlies Bulls tomorrow. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. We'll know who's in the Final Four when we come out of it. Women's tournament gets going again tonight as well with their Sweet 16 starting. You get Vanderbilt, Notre Dame, North Carolina, UConn, Minnesota, UCLA, Duke, LSU. Those games are ahead today. We will see everybody Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye.